Tonight on Destinations. I'm Kane Farabaugh, and we're going medieval on Destinations right up there at the castle at Berg, outside Cologne, Germany.
Hi, I'm Air Force Sergeant Ryan Hope. Coming up tonight on Destinations, we're talking extreme summer. Prizes, celebrities, we've got it all. It's the biggest ever, so stay tuned.
Well, on the map it's called Vicenza, but according to its residents, it's the city of Andrea Palladio, one of the world's most famous architects.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Destinations Tonight. I'm your host, Kane Farabaugh, and right now it looks like I'm getting ready to hit the ski slopes, but actually this is more of a lift through history. We're in the town of Berg, near the city of Cologne, and if you think of medieval times, where we're at right now is one of the most perfect examples of what it was like to live hundreds of years ago. The Castle Schlossberg. There's a lot to see here. We're going to get started on a little bit of the history of this place, so let's go take a look. The Schlossberg, or Castle at Berg, is the largest reconstructed castle complex in Western Germany. In the Middle Ages, the Dukes of Berg ruled this region of Europe from the Schlossberg with the castle knights. It's easy to see why the castle is an historic monument, surviving numerous battles and even the bloody 30-year war. The castle eventually fell into ruin. In the late 19th century, a citizens group determined to restore the castle began taking up donations. An ambitious restoration project followed, and reconstruction of the castle complex was eventually completed in the middle of the 20th century. Housed inside the castle itself is the Burgess Regional Museum. The museum holds archaeological finds and art treasures from the Middle Ages all the way to the present day. Among the items on display are suits of armor and tapestries hundreds of years old. Knights in armor and statues of the lords and noblemen that occupied this hilltop fortress dot the castle grounds. But Schlossberg is more than just a museum, and Army Sergeant Rob Gwynn shows us how volunteers at the Schlossberg make history come to life.
Kane, I got to tell you, it's just like stepping back in time. There are knights, there are damsels in distress, there are princesses, there's even a king. We're at the scenic Schlossberg Castle in Schlossberg, Germany, and there is a lot to see here today, so let's go ahead and get started. With the clash of steel and a test of wills and might, our journey to medieval Germany begins. Though they're not real knights in armor, for a few days each year, Tosin Svita and his friends get to play them before a live audience.
There is a bride, and she's preparing for her wedding, and she's living outside from her husband. Okay, so she's preparing for a journey to him, and on this way she's kidnapped. There is some evil bride who wants to marry the man because he's rich and he's got a good name, and so they are changing their roles, and the original bride is going to be a slave or a servant, and she's going with the false bride. So there is called a tournament, so that the knights should fight for their honor. In the end, some person is giving some script or is writing there that this is the wrong bride, but they don't know who's the right. When I'm fighting and I get hurt, the right bride is coming out and giving me the banner.
Even though the fighting isn't real, the training that goes into it is, as I found out. Okay, Tosin, can you show me how do you use these? How do you fight with a sword? Can you show it to me?
Yes, I can. Yeah. Choose a sword of them.
Okay, I'll choose the small one, the little one here.
Yeah, okay.
This is a good one? Okay.
Okay, we have 5 main hit points.
Okay.
So one side is the shoulder, and the other one, the leg, and the other side.
4.
And the last one is on the head.
5. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. So there's 5 places, and the last place is the head.
Yes.
Okay, don't do that one. Okay. So what do I do first?
If you attack me, you're using the sword in the horizontal.
Okay.
And hitting.
Okay.
And you try to hit my shoulder.
Just like a pro, Kane.
Well, Rob, you might think you're a pro, but I'll tell you what, I'm a more determined foe against you with one of these wooden swords. And even though yours is fancy, mine is handmade by the finest swordsmiths here at the Schlossberg Castle. In addition to the entertainment offered by battling knights, visitors to the castle can also do a bit of medieval shopping at the courtyard marketplace. There, kids can craft their own swords and armor, and parents can sample everything from bratwurst to cheese.
Alle Kinder groß und klein wollen hier auf Schlossberg sein. Ja, das ist ja.
There are plenty of souvenirs waiting to go home with just the right buyer, so be sure to bring plenty of silver, or at least cash. You know, Rob, actually, this marketplace is really neat. All these crafts and things you can buy here, they're all real cool, but the thing I'm amazed with the most is the food, especially the salmon here. It's delicious.
Well, Kane, you know, it's not just any salmon, it's smoked salmon. And for those of you who have ever been to a Renaissance festival back in the States, this is the equivalent of the giant smoked turkey leg, and it's really good.
I love it, Rob.
Yeah, but you got a little on you there. You got to wipe your face, sir. There you go.
Booking official U.S. Army Europe or leisure travel has never been so easy. Log on to www.satotravel.com/user and book your vacation or official travel via the net. No waiting, no lines. When there's a mission to accomplish, your time is essential. www.satotravel.com/user allows you to reserve leisure or official travel from anywhere in Europe 24 hours a day.
The Schlossberg is just one sight to see as we get closer to the summer months. There's plenty more to see and do as summer heats up, especially with the Extreme Summer program with the U.S. Air Forces in Europe. Air Force Sergeant Ryan Hoke is back in our studios in Frankfurt, Germany with more. Ryan?
Thanks, Kane. We're here today with Mandy Smith-Nethercott, who is the Marketing and Entertainment Director for U.S. Air Forces in Europe. She's here to talk about the Extreme Summer 2002 campaign that you're saying is one of the biggest ever, and we'll get into that. I know you're probably chomping at the bit ready to go to talk about that, but first of all, for those people who may not be familiar with the program, what exactly is Extreme Summer?
Well, Extreme Summer is a summer-based promotion that begins 1 June, ends the end of August, that is focused on getting community members, military community members and their families out doing community-oriented activities, getting them involved in activities they've maybe never been involved before. If you've never gone bowling, you go bowling. If you've never been on a trip, go on a trip. It is not services-based exclusively in the sense you have to be doing something with the services or MWR activity. You can actually read a book, or you can go on a hike, or you can go on a Volksmarch, or you can volunteer at your local school or with the Red Cross. So it's really getting people involved in a variety of community-oriented activities, getting them out of the house, getting them to experience something new. And in the process, as they do that, they earn points. And those points qualify them then to win some incredible prizes. And one of the things that's so wonderful about Extreme Summer this year is in the past, for the past 4 years, it's been a teen-only program, but now it's open to everyone. So all active duty military members, all family members, all children, as long as they're 8 and over, are able to participate. And we have 3 competition categories, one for teenagers, one for E1 to E5 and their family members, and one for E6 to E9, all officers and civilians and their family members. So there's just an incredible amount of prizes to be won, and we'll be giving the same lot of prizes in each one of those 3 categories.
So families will be competing against each other these years?
That's right.
Mom's saying, you better get on your points. Well, aside from the fact that you've opened it up to everybody, why else is it such a big program this year? I understand you have a ton of prizes available.
Well, this is definitely our biggest year for prizes. We have over $200,000 worth of prizes to be won. And that includes everything from our monthly prizes and our grand prize offering, as well as we have over 1,500 instant wins. So basically what that means is every time you go to our website, which is www.extremesummer.com, and you load in your points, you qualify for an instant win prize. And those could be anywhere from a Coca-Cola shirt to some of the best racing tickets in Europe. We have over $70,000 worth of racing tickets to Formula One at the Hockenheim Ring, for drag racing at the Hockenheim Ring, for German Touring Masters and the Truck Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, kart, which is at the German 500 at the Euro Speedway. So it's just incredible and phenomenal prizes that we have to offer. Now, our monthly prizes, if you have over 200 points every month in your account, which you load into the website, you qualify for a random drawing to go to Disneyland and Radio Disney in California. And you only need 200 points to qualify. That's just equals out to about 1 activity a week. So you can read a book, or you can take a Volksmarch, and all of that earns you 50 points in order to qualify to win these prizes. And the grand prize, of course, is a trip to Disney World in Florida with a 4-day park hopper pass. You're staying in one of the luxury resort hotels. And the other thing that's great about the monthly prizes and the grand prizes, you get to take either 3 of your friends or family members with you.
Okay, we've been talking with Mandy Smith Nethercott, who is the Marketing and Entertainment Director for U.S. Air Forces in Europe. Thank you for joining us on Destinations.
Thank you so much.
Now here's a look at some of the stories we'll be bringing you next Thursday on Destinations.
There we come out here every Friday to shoot up everybody.
Great stress reliever?
Well, stress reliever, stress inducer, nobody knows.
That's an excellent question. What do you think, Nick?
Well, I think that the fur, fat, and feathers, it provides insulation for the different types of animals.
The first 2 years of your child's life is the optimum time for language development. Reading to your child for 15 minutes a day is a great way to develop your child's language skills.
Welcome back to Destinations Tonight, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. You know, being stationed or living here in Europe gives us an opportunity to step back in time each and every single day, and that's exactly what we're going to do now in Vicenza, Italy, with Sergeant Aaron Talley and Specialist Leah Tedrow.
Thanks, Kane. Well, on the map it's called Vicenza, but according to its residents, it's the city of Andrea Palladio, one of the world's most famous architects. Visitors can see examples of his work throughout downtown Vicenza, but none draw bigger crowds than the Teatro Olimpico. Finished in 1585, it was the world's first indoor theater. Standing on this historic stage, I couldn't help but recite a few lines of Sophocles. My children, latest born of Cadmus old, why sit ye here as suppliants? In your hand branches of olives filleted with wool? Thus begins the Greek tragedy Oedipus Rex, the first play ever performed in the Teatro Olimpico over 400 years ago. The world-famous stage still plays host to theater productions of all kinds, but you can't get over the beauty of this incredible building when you realize the people were sitting in the same seats, looking at the same stage during that historic occasion back in 1585. In the Greek tragedy, Oedipus Rex was a king looking for the source of a plague on his city. It's not a coincidence that was the first play chosen to be done here in the Teatro, because back in 1426, Vicenza had a similar problem.
Legend has it that the Virgin Mary appeared to a young girl in 1426 to announce that Vicenza would be spared from further plague if a church was built in the very spot where she appeared.
The girl's vision helped bring hope to a city that had been ravaged by plague for 3 years. To commemorate that event, the people of Vicenza came together to build this, the Basilica di Montberica.
The basilica itself was completed in the 15th century and enlarged in the 18th. The Baroque hilltop church sits overlooking downtown Vicenza, where another historic building stands that was once the private residence of a man who never received the credit he was due.
If you've ever studied explorers, I'm sure that you've heard of Magellan, the first man to sail around the world. What you probably don't know is that he died halfway through that journey. The man that took over his expedition, finished the mission, and wrote his story is Antonio Pigafetta, who lived here on a quiet side street in the center of Vicenza.
The house was built in 1481, and it's fashioned in the elaborate Spanish Gothic style of the time. The only reminder of the owner, Antonio Pigafetta, is a single statue near the center of downtown Vicenza, a city full of entertaining history.
Like most Italian cities, Vicenza is a beautiful place to just walk around and explore. But what makes it so unique is the stunning architecture of Andrea Palladio.
Like this villa right behind us. And the amazing thing is, it's not a museum. Somebody actually lives in that house. Can you imagine coming home to this? The classic temple front of columns and arches is typical of what became known as the Palladian style of architecture. But Palladio's best-known work is located just outside of downtown Vicenza, the world-famous Via Rotonda. This beautiful home is completely symmetrical, with all four sides exactly the same. And yes, I did say home. Someone lives here, too. But you can still see the historical villa for a small fee. And if it looks familiar, there's a good reason for that. Our third president, Thomas Jefferson, used the rotunda as a model for his Virginia estate, Monticello. Well, that wraps it up for us here in Vicenza. Reporting for Destinations with Specialist Leah Tedrow, I'm Army Sergeant Aaron Talley, AFN News. Back to you, Kane.
Thank you for joining us here on this edition of Destinations at the Schlossberg. We love bringing destinations to you each and every week. If you've got a story idea or want us to come and cover an event that's close to you, all you have to do is email us. That email address is destinations@afn.frankfurt.army.mil. We'd love to hear from you. We'll leave you now with more sights and sounds from here at the Schlossberg. I'm your host, Kane Farabaugh. Thanks for joining us tonight.